An insurrection clearly happened. We all watched it. The question is, did the former president incite it? And mine for you is, did the managers connect the dots?
Today, we saw a devastatingly effective prosecution by the House managers, but it was of the rioters. The next step, and what they need to make sure to do, is make a nexus, connect that up to the conduct of President Trump. But they run a risk in doing so. If they focus too much on the riots, they may focus too much on the words and the speech of President Trump. And the better case for the House managers to make is to step back and look at President Trump's speech not as the genesis of the insurrection, but the culmination after months of other conduct that amounted in its whole, on the whole, in an insurrection on the Capitol. That is the strongest way for the House managers to make their case. They really put the rioters on trial today. Will they be able to lump in Trump as a co-defendant?
You know, Danny, much of the evidence today, and really some of the focus, was police. Police overrun, police cursed, police killed, police saving lives. Mitt Romney, Vice President Pence, and others. Do you expect the managers may eventually suggest a vote for the former president is a vote against law and order, against police officers?
Of course. I mean, that all factored into the presentation they put on today. They made people there and present. So many people were aware of the assault, but they may not have seen the images of police officers locked in life and death battles with people with hockey sticks, things that are true weapons that would be an aggravated assault or attempted murder in any criminal courthouse. So they bring that home and they show people, by the way, no matter where you stand politically, police officers are routinely sympathetic characters, and that's why it's so hard to prosecute them in criminal court. So that is a strong way to pin your case and drive it home for people. Whether or not you're connected to somebody in law enforcement, if you're just a regular citizen on the street, you think about law and order in your neighborhood. And the idea that your police, even many of them, dozens of them, could be overrun like that is terrifying to regular folks.
You heard repeatedly from the managers today, the president watched and he did nothing, sort of laying out the crime of omission. Does that sell?
One thing in trial practice, timelines can be devastatingly effective, and that's exactly what they did here, together with technology. And the House managers are just raising the bar for trial lawyers all over the country and using demonstratives. And what they did is they did side-by-sides. So in case you are wondering at this particular moment, while, say, this police officer was being assaulted or this window was being broken, if you were wondering what President Trump was doing, here's what he was doing or tweeting at the same time. So lest you think he was letting this go without getting involved, the timeline cannot tell a lie. It shows that in real time, President Trump knew what was going on and disregarded it, or at least focused on things that were far less important, like, say, having Rudy Giuliani call to have them stop the proceedings in the Senate, which is amazing because the proceedings were stopped.
Yeah. Danny, on that matter and others, how can the president's lawyers counter this flood of evidence?
The president's defense needs to raise the specter of the First Amendment. And I say that because he doesn't have a clear First Amendment defense. Speech that is lawful, or at least protected under the First Amendment, may still be impeachable. There are things that the president can advocate for that would not be illegal to say them, but Congress would certainly be within its rights to rush to impeach him. So the defense, their tactic is to focus on the words and look back at Supreme Court precedent. Because Supreme Court precedent, if we were in criminal court, this would be a defensible case because the words that President Trump uttered are at least arguably less severe than prior speech in other historical cases like Brandenburg and Hess v. Indiana that were approved of by the Supreme Court. Well, I shouldn't say approved of, but they were sanctioned or protected speech under the First Amendment. But again, that's the defense's what the defense has to do in this case is show that this is not show, but demonstrate that this is a First Amendment case, when in reality, it isn't a true First Amendment case. Even if this was protected speech, it was impeachable.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.